people nursing his flowers. Like, where's his nomination? Where's his nomination? He needs a nomination. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan. If you are new here, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I post my next video. As you guys can see by the title, this is a long awaited video. This video, I will be sharing with you guys how I passed Medsurg 1. So if you're new to my channel, I am in nursing school. I am now in term 4 out of 5. So exciting. I just finished term 3, and in term 3, I had 3 classes, and that was Medsurg 1. Oh my God. I've only been out of school for like 2 weeks, and I didn't forgot my whole life. I had Medsurg 1, I had babies, and what was the last class? Psych. But Medsurg was my hardest class. My easiest class would have probably been psych for sure. But if you guys like follow me on my nursing Instagram page, I'm gonna put it right here. If you're not following it yet, go ahead and follow it. Pause the video and go ahead and follow. I told you guys that I had failed one of my tests, like the second exam, and I was so nervous because I had got an 82 on my first test and then got a 76%. And in my school, a 76% is failing your test. You have to get a 78% or better. So I mean, yes, I was 2 percentages off, but it still sucks to just fail a test. So I was like, I need a system. Like, I gotta pass. Like, your girl is not gonna fail, okay? Your girl is not going to fail, because my average had was what, an 81? And I'm like, that's not enough cushion. Like, I need more cushion. And we had only 2 more exams left. So I'm like, yeah, I need to figure out some way to study for this test. So I'm gonna share with you guys 10 ways that I passed Medsurg 1, and I really hope this helps you guys. So my first piece of advice is to, before class, either right before class or the night before class, go through the PowerPoint that your teacher puts out and kind of just skim through that, so you can just have an idea of what you guys are going to be learning the next day. Or if you don't want to skim through the PowerPoints, you can even skim through the chapter in the textbook to kind of just see okay, what am I gonna be learning? This helps because you'll just have a little bit of that information in your mind. Obviously don't try to retain the information. Don't sit through each PowerPoint and be this, don't sit there and read it. I wouldn't sit and read the PowerPoint, but I would just literally skim through and be okay, we're talking about Cushing syndrome. Okay, we're talking about Addison's. Okay, we're talking about this, that, and the other, just so I know. So when she says it in class, I'm oh, okay, I've heard that before. So then number 2 is, during class, I would take notes on what the teacher emphasized, and then I would also kind of take notes of what I felt was important within her PowerPoints. She would have certain things bolded or highlighted, so I would make sure that I would write that down on my notes as well. So let me just show you guys how it would look. It looks a mess. You guys probably what the heck? But this would be me basically taking notes on what the teacher said and a little bit of the PowerPoint. And sometimes I would be skimming through the book while she was talking. I would have my book open, and if I seen something that would help me memorize that, I would also write that on my notes as well. And if we were talking about blood flow through the heart, I would skim this. And if she would say something important, I would as you can see, I would write it here. And then some of the important things she would say, I would write it here, because these pictures would be on the PowerPoint. So I would kind of just write what she said. Oh my God, why did that paper just fall out? I would kind of just write what she said. Boom, everything she touched on, I would highlight. Which brings me to my next note. So after class, or just the same day, just make sure you do it the same day. Doesn't matter what time it is. Just make sure you're doing it the same day. Go back, look at your notes, and look at your textbook stuff, and just clean it up. So honestly, I take really good notes, so I never really had to like clean up my notes. But what I would do is I would like put like stars by stuff, or like underline things, or if I didn't understand a topic, I would like look it up on Google real quick, or look it up on her PowerPoint real quick, and like write what it meant next to it so that I would understand. And just basically just kind of skim through my notes again and kind of flip through the textbook again to make sure that I'm like I mean, obviously you're not gonna have a good grasp on the information in one day, but just to like have the information pop up in my head again. Just kind of helps to have the information start sticking in your brain a little better. So then either the same day or like at least within 2 days after we learned the material, I would watch a simple nursing video. Y'all, simple nursing, we need to just give him a round of applause for 1 second. Hold on. Because he got me through this term. Like, simple nursing got me through. I mean, it's other people I watch too, but simple nursing is my go-to guy, because a lot of his videos will be like everything the teacher just said. So like, I would use him. And like I said, either the same day or at least 2 days after, I would watch a video on what we were learning that week, and I would also take notes as if he was my teacher, and I would take notes on what he was saying. So this is when we were learning about MI, so heart attack, and I would literally take notes over the whole entire video. And then after I watched the video, read over the notes again. And then I would also I would read over my notes a lot, actually. Like, I think that's probably what helped me the most, just continuously rereading notes. Like, yes, I use my flashcards, but honestly, you guys, I didn't use my flashcards until maybe like 3 days before the test, because like my notes were so good. I was doing practice questions, like we're gonna get into that as well, and reading my textbook, that like by the time I got to like a week before the exam, I pretty much knew the information, you know? That's what helps me more instead of flashcards. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still use my flashcards faithfully, but like, it's so much information that flashcards just get so time consuming. So I really rely on taking notes, rereading those notes. Okay, so my 5th piece of advice is studying in sections. So we would literally have like 3 or 4 topics, 3 or 4 big topics, and I would study those things in sections. So basically, I would study for like literally 3 weeks in advance before the test, really. Like, I wouldn't really go hard until like a week before, but I'm literally like just day by day kind of just like studying a little something. And then that kind of just helps to like break up things in your brain, because you don't want to just cram everything a week before, because that's what I was doing. I would wait a week before to learn a whole body system. Like, you just cannot do that. Like, your brain cannot do that. I mean, I know it's some people who can do it, but me, my brain does not work that way. Like, if we're learning Cushing's disease, I would study Cushing's disease and Addison's disease for like 2 days, and I would study the next topic for 2 days, and then I would study the next topic for 2 days. Basically, what my studying in sections consisted of, I would pick a topic. The first day, I would go through half the PowerPoint and also have my book with me. So whatever popped up on the PowerPoint, I would read that in the book and highlight stuff and take notes that were important on the PowerPoint and put it on the textbook. And then the second day, I will go through the other half of the PowerPoint and do the same exact thing. So basically, I would read my textbook for 2 days, pretty much. Go through the PowerPoint, read my textbook for 2 days. And the third day, I would make flashcards from the study guide, from the professor's study guide. I would make the flashcards and then study just that section of the flashcards for that one day. And then if like I'm still not really getting it, I might watch a YouTube video. But like I said, I normally just watch the YouTube video like 2 days after I learned the information anyway. So usually I never really had to rewatch a YouTube video, and plus I already have the notes. So like, that's why I said like, start studying early so that by the time it's time to study, you don't have as much work to do. And also on that third day, I would do some practice questions. I wouldn't do too many. I would do like, maybe like 25 practice questions, 30 practice questions, really struggling, maybe 40. But honestly, that's like 40 minutes of your time. just to do some practice questions. And then that would be it. And then after those 3 days, I would go to the next topic and hardcore study on that topic, and then study the last topic and do 3 days of studying that, so that by the time it's a week before the test, I basically know all the information. So next is practice questions. I kind of touched on this multiple times already, I feel like, in this video, because honestly, practice questions is what really helped me. My school uses SharePath, so our book, like, we have an ebook on SharePath, and then it also has like practice questions as well. So I would literally do at least like 10 to 30 practice questions a day. 10 to 30 practice questions a day. And like, as it got closer to the test, I would probably do at least like 50 questions like a day the week before the test. I'm not saying you guys have to do that many practice questions to obviously understand the topic. That's just what helped me the most to like retain the information. And I really like SharePath because it like gave really good rationales, and the questions were literally right out of the book, and my teacher tested right out of the book. So it was like free questions, because some of the like literally some of the questions on the test would be like not almost identical, but it would be like 3 words were changed. So sounds pretty almost identical to me, but you know. So I mean, our teacher would assign us like ATI practice questions too. I would do those because it was for a grade, but I mean, maybe I should have did more ATI, but I just really focused on SharePath because it came straight from the book and the tests were from the book. Felt like I just needed to put more focus onto SharePath since those questions could possibly pop up on the test, in which they did. So my 7th piece of advice is to, like, if you're just still not really understanding the topic and just want like some extra help studying the topics, I would look at charts and diagrams and like, what do they call them? Mnemonics. Mnemonics. Wait, is it a picture of like a mnemonic in the book? Probably not. I don't think so, but I'm gonna put it right here, and y'all gonna know exactly what I'm talking about when I mean mnemonics. I don't know if that's how you say it. Probably not. But I would use those, and that would help me a lot. As like just matching a picture with a disease really helped. Like even with my test, like if Cushing's disease was on there, I could like picture somebody with Cushing's disease, somebody that's big, round, stretch marks. Like I still remember that to that day just because of off the strength of that picture. Obviously, like I said before, YouTube videos help a lot. Simple Nursing, Register RN, what's her name? Look Up RN or Lock RN? I don't know. I'll put her name right here. I think it's like Look Up RN or something like that. But I would use like, those would be the main 3. But Simple Nursing was like my main guy as far as like taking notes. Like I probably wouldn't take notes on like other YouTubers, but Simple Nursing, he be knowing what he be talking about. And that's on period. And somebody needs to give him his flowers. Somebody needs to give Simple Nursing his flowers. Like, where's his nomination? Where's his nomination? He needs a nomination for real at this point, because he is getting us through, okay? I know I'm not the only one. Also, if you're like struggling, I would recommend attending group study sessions. I didn't. Like I studied really well by myself, but if you're a group person, definitely do that. If you're struggling, I recommend tutoring. When I failed my test, I went to my teacher and I was like, girl, what do I do? Because I don't want to fail this class. And literally, at least about 5 of the steps that I just told you, that's what she told me. And I literally ended up getting a 90% on that next test, and then getting a 94%, which was one of the highest scores in the class. Like I think about 4 or 5 of us got a 94% on the last exam. So like it definitely, the advice she gave me definitely helped. That's why I'm like, I have to share this with everybody because it really helped. I also went to like, we have these things called peer leader, like reviews. Those helped me a lot as well. I would take notes on like what they said. So just rewriting things helps a lot, which leads me to my next point, and that is rewrite your notes. Like just keep writing things down multiple times. Like I don't know what it is, but muscle memory helps me a lot. Muscle memory and just reading things over and over again. As you guys know, I faithfully use my whiteboard, and I call it the whiteboard method. And basically what that is I take my flashcards and I look at the flashcard. If it says Addison's disease on the front, I write Addison's disease on my whiteboard and try to remember everything that I can about Addison's disease. And then I flip my flashcard over, read that out loud, and then anything that I missed on the flashcard, I write it on my board. And anything I got wrong on the board, I erase it so I don't trip myself up. And then after I roll out everything, I don't write out every single flashcard because not every single topic. I only write down the super difficult topics on my whiteboard, stuff that I know that she's really going to hit on. But I would basically do that, write down all the difficult topics, and then after doing that, I would just look at the whiteboard and just read it all out loud all over again. And I don't know what it is about rewriting stuff multiple times, but it helped. Next, I will use flashcards, and as like the semester started getting like closer to the end, I realized that I really hate doing flashcards now because we are learning so many things right now that it's like flashcards are so time consuming. So what I started doing is, instead of writing every single flashcard off the study guide, I would just pick the most difficult topics that I knew was going to be like hard for me to remember, that I needed to like have that like, you know, flip muscle memory thing going on. So I would just write down the most difficult topics and just study those flashcards pretty much. And then I would just read the type study guides to make sure that I'm not missing anything, because I didn't want to just study those things and then not have the other like easy things that we're supposed to learn too, because ain't nobody trying to miss no easy questions. And that's on period. And that is the 10 ways that I passed Medsurg. So I really hope this video was helpful. I hope that you guys understood what I was saying, because I feel like this video is kind of all over the place. Like, I don't know. I just hope that I really explained everything well. If you guys like have any extra questions, you guys can comment them down below or follow me on my nursing Instagram page. Here it goes again. And you guys can just DM me and ask me any additional questions. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So like I said, to kind of just summarize, pretty much reading the textbook and muscle memory, rewriting things, and rereading my notes and watching like YouTube videos and stuff, that's honestly what helped me the most to pass all of my tests. And I mean, guys, like I really did a whole like 360. Like I did a whole 360 from literally getting an 82 and a 76 to getting A's on my last 2 tests. So I'm super duper proud of myself. And next semester that's coming up on May 16th, I have to do it all over again because we have Medsurg too. But I'm gonna just use the same tools, the same methods that I used for Medsurg 1, and I know I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm gonna pass and everything's gonna be okay. But Medsurg is definitely a hard class. It's definitely a hard class. I mean, it was easier for some, but it wasn't easy for me. It was not my cup of tea, okay? It was not my cup of tea. I wish you guys all of the luck. You guys are gonna do amazing, and definitely take some of, you don't have to do all the 10 steps, but I definitely recommend doing some of the things that I said, because that, I mean, I'm telling you. Just gotta put the work in, you gotta study, and you guys will be fine. Just put the work in, try your hardest, and if it was your very best, that's all that matters. As long as you give your very best, as long as you give your 100%, it's okay. But if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.